explain the PEFA GRFM and how it helps improve gender outcomes?
Thanks, Mark, and that's a very important question. Good morning, Manila. Good morning, Asia. So let me make 3 quick points. First, a personal story of myself, how I moved from a rather critique of gender-based budgeting to a super supporter of gender budget. Way back, much before I joined PEFA Secretariat, somewhere around 2008, I was working in Government of India, and somebody asked my view. What do you think? Shouldn't we integrate the gender things into the entire budget? I said, what? Already budget process is cumbersome. Already the document is big. And you already have the Women and Child Welfare Ministry, so gender is there. So what more you want to add? And the conversation stopped there. And I then went to my hometown, Eluru in south of India, and I mentioned it to my mom, who is a medical doctor. I asked her, in health budget of Andhra Pradesh, my state, do you know how much is spent on women? She simply said, I don't know, but it's definitely less than 50%. Then I asked more. Do you know how much probably would have been the money benefiting women in terms of salaries, emoluments, contracts awarded and all? She laughed and said, I surely don't know, but maybe 1% or 2%. She didn't know, but that triggered me the process that probably the budget processes we are trying to do at the state capital, at the national capital, those days in India, are largely not unpacking the real issues, the real needs of diverse set of population, and that's what triggered me and moved into a champion of gender budgeting. And today I'm speaking to you on PEFA gender. Not just because PEFA gender is something which is a product of PEFA and I'm head of PEFA, but I strongly believe that gender PFM is something not related to just women. It is good PFM. Gender PFM is PFM. Men and women, everyone, it matters. That's my first point why we moved into the PEFA gender. Number 2, what is this PEFA gender? For those of you who do not know PEFA itself, PEFA is a gold standard PFM framework used in over 155 countries to assess PFM systems. What we do is compare across the various indicators and score A being highest and D being lowest, various parameters. Where do we find PEFA products? You have the brochure with the QR codes out there. All products are available on the website. You can pick up some of these brochures there, kept on the table out, and you'll find all the products. What PEFA gender does is extract some of these indicators from overall PFM and use a gender lens. For example, whether the budget call circular takes into consideration gender, whether legislature in its evaluation considers gender aspects as such. Public procurement, is it actually working on gender? Public investment management, how is it working around gender? So this is put together, and right now we have 25 reports. It's a relatively new tool. We have 25 reports already completed. Usually in these 25 reports, each assessment has 9 indicators. If you take an aggregate of 9 indicators would mean what? 9 into 25, 225. You should be able to get 225 scores of A, the highest level, right? Can anyone guess how much is the overall score? How many A's did they get out of this 225? So far it's just 3. 3 out of 225, which means it's a huge opportunity. There is a scalable level, so where there are quick wins possible to make progress. That's my second point. Third and last, how does it fix this aspect of gender gap? It essentially PEFA gender looks at all the gender budgeting tools and identifies which tools are being used in a country, which can be used better. So that's the unique selling proposition in a tool structure through PEFA gender. Then it brings together stakeholders, enables a roadmap, unpacking what I initially said, the real needs, not the needs based on how much is financing. Financial decisions need to be rooted in social and economic decisions, and that's what PEFA Gender does. To conclude, PEFA Gender is here for everyone. As the Vice President just now mentioned, Asian Development Bank is doing enormous work, and we in the PEFA Secretariat want to collaborate with each of you to take the message across of gender budgeting, using PEFA Gender as a mechanism for that. Gender can be done as a standalone assessment or in conjunction with a national or subnational assessment. So there are opportunities are enormous, and we are all looking forward to working together to complete and fix and get the budget, and stop even talking about gender budgeting at a point of time, because gender budgeting is the budget, is the real budget, is the only budget in a country. Thank you.
Thank you, Srinivas, for that gender framework on PEFA. Let's now turn to Mona on the recent assessment of